Warning: this story is extremely scary and intense, not recommended for weak-hearted viewers or for watching alone at night. Once it starts, it may stay with you. Watch at your own risk.
The old farmhouse on the outskirts of rural Vermont had been empty for decades. The realtor warned her about the history, but Sarah laughed it off. She didn't believe in ghosts. She believed in deadlines. The first night she heard it, a soft scratching from inside the walls, like fingernails on dry wood. She told herself it was just mice. On the third night, the scratching moved. It was behind the plaster right next to her bed, slow and deliberate, following her as she shifted under the covers. She started drinking cheap bourbon from the gas station in town. It helped her sleep, but it all made the voices. The novel wasn't going too well. Every time she tried to write, the words on the screen would rearrange themselves when she wasn't watching. She came back from the kitchen to find the screen had changed again. She started drinking cheap bourbon from the gas station in town. One night, around 3:17 a.m., she woke up to find the scratching had stopped. She grabbed the baseball bat she kept by the bed and crept into the hallway. The floorboards creaked under her feet. She flicked on the hallway light. At the top of the attic stairs stood her exact double, wearing her exact clothes. The thing wearing her face tilted its head. "You were never supposed to come back here. This house doesn't let the previous owners leave." Sarah swung with everything she had. Then it stepped forward and wrapped its cold arms around her like a lover. Sudden cut to black. Then subtle scratching sound begins again from inside the walls. First. The next morning, the realtor got a call from a new buyer interested in the old farmhouse. A young writer from the new writer walking through the same rooms, touching the wallpaper. She looked around the old house with fresh eyes. First night for the new owner. She starts typing happily. Soft scratching begins again from the walls. Mirrors in the house start showing slight delays again. Raid. Subtle horror. Night deepens. Whispering begins faintly in the new writer's own voice. Slow tracking shot. Attic stairs shot. A figure with Sarah's face appears at the top, smiling. The creature steps down silently, eyes locked on the new writer.
Close-up of new writer's face, realizing something is horribly wrong.
This house doesn't let the previous owners leave. It just recycles them.
Final struggle. New writer backing away as the creature approaches with open arms. Embrace scene. Cold hug. Last terrifying expression on the new writer's face.
Welcome home.
Screen fades as scratching sound grows louder and more insistent. Inside the walls POV, something with Sarah's face scratching slowly, patiently waiting. Final shot. Wide view of the quiet farmhouse at night. The new writer settles in, unaware of the cycle beginning again. She feels the house is perfect for creativity. As night falls, the scratching begins once more, following her every movement. The whispering returns in her own voice, soft and inviting, drawing her deeper into the house. The creature descends, speaking in a voice that sounds exactly like the previous owner. It tilts its head and whispers. The embrace seals the cycle once more. Her last expression is one of complete realization and sorrow. The house claims her completely. The new writer feels her own voice beginning to fade as the cycle restarts within the walls. Inside the walls, the new presence starts scratching again, patient and waiting for the next soul to arrive. The house is never truly empty. Worse. She laughs off any small warnings, believing only in her deadlines and creativity. The house welcomes. Another hopeful writer arrives, drawn to the quiet beauty of the old house. The realtor greets her with the mist. The scratching follows her as she moves, circling the room like something alive and patient. She feels. On the third night, the scratching becomes personal, staying exactly at her back no matter how she turns. She sits up, the mirrors begin to betray reality. Her own reflection moves independently, watching her with wrong expressions that fill her with growing dread. Her own voice calls to her from the shadows, inviting her closer. She grabs a nearby object.
The double appears once more, speaking the truth of the house that recycles its residents. She fights back with everything she has, but the embrace completes the transfer. "Welcome home," it whispers in her own voice.
The cycle continues inside the walls. Another soul joins the house, scratching and waiting. She laughs off any small warnings and settles in, believing only in her deadlines and creativity. The house welcomes her with, on the first night, the scratching returns, like fingernails on dry wood. She tells herself it is only mice and puts on music to ignore it. By the third night, the scratching stays exactly at her back no matter how she turns. She sits up. Her own voice calls to her from the shadows. She creeps forward, gripping whatever she can find for defense, the floorboards creaking under her feet. The double appears, smiling too wide, and whispers that the house never lets its owners leave. It only recycles them into the next story. The novel is never finished. The house waits patiently for the next writer, the scratching beginning again. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more atmospheric tales. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss a new story.